Will you be successful, but you don't know, therefore you are complaining? All right, what am I referring to? In the morning we were here. Do we remember the point at which the pastor finished? This guy who was deaf and made it, what was he doing finally after making it? Complaining that who had? Why was he complaining? Because he was not aware? Would you be successful, but you are not aware, therefore you are complaining? I've had a privilege to be a career guidance and counselor, especially during the time of admission. We come with a lot of dilemma. And just like Daktari said, that some we come by the wish of our parents. Our parents or guardians wanted to accomplish what they didn't achieve through us. And now you've come, you are in a dilemma, and then you fit in somewhere. One thing I want to remind you is that there is no career that is offered in form of training in a learning institution and is irrelevant. Hello? I wish we had someone who is sitting in the management here would tell you, but I know Daktari knows this. Daktari, for it to be qualified, to be trained, to the point where you call the students to come and train in that line, it must have been vetted. Hello? In relation even to the job market. The question is, how do you become the best among the rest? Hello? Am I making sense? Can you ask yourself, how do I become the best among the rest? Because that is what will make a difference. How many have visited counselors in Hall 7 Tech House? That is where we sit. I'm seeing a few of my friends have visited me. And they are proud to look at me and they were smiling. I am happy. Daktari, I've met a few who have visited. Just pass by. Pass by. I was just saying, hi, counselor. I wanted to know, am I still in the right path? You will realize how much you're in the right path. Now, what you need to do is you ask yourself, how do you become the best among the rest? There is no career that is irrelevant. And this I'm telling you with the confidence. A number of students have come, they have said, I've studied this course for 1 year. I songi. Then I say, let us sit down. Is the problem the course or is the problem yourself? We will come blaming. You know, it's normal. When you're finding difficult, you'd want somewhere to blame. So we will come blaming the lecturers, blaming the parents, and everybody else. Then we will narrow down. Then I will address you. That is when you will realize that it is just something that you haven't gotten right. Once you unlock it and you get it right, my friend, there are those who have come back here for graduation and they say, lazima tuchukue picha na wewe. During that graduation, I'm not the families that I didn't know I would know. Just because wamekuja. Some hata wana drop out, wanasema, mi nimepumzika for 1 year, I just wanted to realize myself. Then you visit there, we come, we interact, and you realize it is the best. Where does the challenge come? When you ask somebody who is not doing that course, what do you expect that person to tell you? Kila mwamba ngoma uvutia? Hello? Kila mwamba ngoma uvutia? Yes. And a normal chit chat out there, I will tell you counseling psychology is the best. Wachana na engineer, wachana na medicine. Hello? And the doctor, who is also practicing, will tell you medicine is the best. So if you don't know yourself, hello? Kama haujijui, you will struggle. My friend, you will do what? Even if you are in that you perceive to be the most lucrative, you will struggle. But when you understand yourself, you unlock your potential, whatever you are doing. Whichever course you are doing in this university, just purpose to be the best among. As I finish, there's a young man. He came, he was very particular with structural engineering. Then he was given Marine. Then he told me I've never even heard this name. Wacha kujua, hata kusikia sijawahi fanya nini. And then he was telling me vile amesomea na kule mashinani and he was the best in his school, and now when he came here alikuwa anatembea hello, do you know I was the best in my, unajua hiyo kutembea? Yeah? So when he came, he was told, okay, the letter is offering, and he was like, Marine, hello, mimi na maji tunatoana wapi? And then he came. The first year I gave it a good shot. The second year hapana, hii kitu hii haisongi. Akawachana nayo. So when he visited me when he was just about to drop out, we talked and I told him, you're in the right path. Just realize your potential and be the best among the rest. But through peer influence, he pulled out. So he said, he'll block my number so that I don't even call him by mistake. So he went on, tried other things, it didn't work, he disappeared for some times. So 3 years down the line, I see a strange number. Yes, hello, Mr. Jeda, how are you? Fine, thank you. This is so and so. Long time, how have you been? When are we graduating? Then he kept quiet. Then he told me, I'm ashamed of myself. I say, if you are ashamed of yourself, what will we do with yourself? Hello? Kama ujijui, sisi tunakujua. How will we know you? So, akajieleza nikamwambia, even if you are at the lowest moment, that is when I'm very relevant. Talk to me. So he told me, when you talked to me, friends told me this thing, hata ina kazi Kenya, and now I decided to try other things. So I dropped out of school. I didn't talk to anybody. Nilienda tu hivyo na nikapotea. So 3 years down the line, amejaribu other things. It didn't work. So he's telling me now, I feel I'm ready to come back. So I said, are you sure you're ready to come back? Why are you coming back? Hello? Are you here to finish the school? Or are you here to be the best in your course? Hey, somebody is looking at me like, sasa hiyo ni swali gani? I'm asking, are you here to finish your course? Ama you are here to be the best among the rest? Swali ya kujiuliza. A number of students have come, wanasema mi mali imefika, I just want to finish. And then we start the journey from there. And then they realize, kumbe they have more than just to finish. So my friend, we talked, then he got an opportunity and he went to Dubai. Tried other things there, came back. He has gone back again. But like every week, he calls me, he's telling me, ile kosi yangu sitawacha. I'm accumulating some money because now even the parents and everybody else is disappointed. Siwezi hata kuwaomba pesa. So I'm simply accumulating money. I am coming back to JKUAT. Ile course sitafanya nini? So I asked him, how did you realize ya kwamba now it is relevant iko na job market? Akaanza kuniambia, by the way, and interestingly, he with a lot of confidentiality, he had a girlfriend, within the same class. So the girlfriend proceeded and graduated. And now the girlfriend is working. Hello? Si girlfriend alimboot, si yeye aliboot girlfriend, alimuogopa katoroka. Would you want to be in that scenario? Where sasa unatoroka your classmates? So what am I simply saying? I was only making emphasis that unaona hiyo career, mahali upo. Si unajua? Whether ni engineering, ni agriculture, ni uko HRD, see be the best among, that is what I can tell you. And if you don't know how to be the best among the rest, visit Tech House. Talk to the counselor there. We will unlock your potential. And I'm telling you, that day you are going to graduate with a first class. That is the day you'll remember this Sabbath. Happy Sabbath once again. Wachani shikilie hapo.
Thank you very much, boss, for that insight. I don't know if somebody has a reaction on that aspect that we've just touched. I want to couple it with just academics. career path and academics. I don't know if somebody has something to add. I have very many colleagues here, so I'm not a monopoly of those ideas. Huh? So I have my sister, Monica. You can proceed.
Happy Sabbath. Happy day. I don't have much to add because the panelists have said it almost all. It's only like maybe at this time, when you're on this side, you may think what they're saying may not be making sense. I want to react on just the first presenter on the financial part. And I wanted to react on the comment that he said when he was giving his 3 comments. That some people, you can't apply basics to everything. No, I noted that because these basics, they apply whether you have money, a lot of it, or less of it. So what I wanted my the student here to pick is that there's that comment that I picked. Some applied the help for their enjoyment. Sijui kama na kumisquote. I had to just use it. And I feel some maybe could have done so because some have parents who are able to cater for their needs. What I just wanted to remind you is that help is a loan. You will pay it. I think if your parents are able to pay for your fees, be contented and leave that help to help others who don't have that privilege. So that help is for your school fees. After your 4 years, 5 years, 6 years that you shall be doing your degree, help will just give you a few little times and they'll be on you. You won't even know. Your employer will just bring a letter. See, you have your KRAs and everything. That's how it happens, by the way. You will just find your employer bringing a letter. You have to start repaying your help loan. So, unless if you feel, whatever they said, I liked what they said. If you have to take that money, then do some things, invest and all that. And I like the examples that they gave. Most students rely on help for their school fees. And most of us did so for our school fees. But I had a friend, for example, they were very able. At least the brother was supporting like all of them. So money for her was not a problem. I like using her example and to relate with what others have said. Whereas some of us, help was like everything in terms of our school fees. For her, that was her money to enjoy. And that time, at the end of 5 years, we did 5 years course. So at the end of that 5 years, what she left with, sometimes you wonder. The money that she had was for clothes, shoes. Our classmates were calling her our ATM. She had everything. We want to go for a trip in coast, the brother puts money. I want a laptop, 40,000 is in her account. And she had a lot of money. But what they said, she didn't like invest. I came to learn after our 5 years. We are all now, we got a job, luckily. We started working, she also had a job. And she was borrowing rent from me. I've got a house, nisaidie nipate rent. Then I remember, si uko na brother yako alikuwa anakutumia pesa. Akaniambia, the day I finished my 5th year, he focused on other children that were learning. Akamwambia, ende uanze kufanya nini? Ujipange. Then that's the time it hit me that this lady alikuwa na a lot of money. Na alikuwa tunatoka na suitcases of dresses, shoes, many things za kutumia hivi and nothing. Then with time after we have now working, now she's doing well. At least maybe she's now sustaining herself after that, but it was an eye-opener for her. No one wanted to listen to her at the end of the 5 years. When she was a student, everything was coming. And she had a loan. So she's repaying a loan also at the end of this, because at the end of the day, you have to repay back your help. So that was my point. Help, please, is equal to your enjoyment. Invest if you're able. Because sometimes I tend to think, right now I'm at this point. I hear that time when we were students, at a land around here, JUJA here, was around 80,000. For that girl, 80,000 was nothing. She could get it from, if she had that mind, maybe she could have invested, because one of our colleagues was also struggling, but with the small PJs, I'm in the School of Architecture. So after that years, one of my classmates was able to draw for people, make bill of quantities and other things. He just invested in a laptop, and he bought the land where he's living right now. He's a lecturer here, where he has built his own house. He bought it when he was a student, somewhere in Kamulu. And not that he had a lot of money that time compared to the lady at that time. So what these things we are being told right now, they are true. So even if you are able to be supported by your parents, my main point was help is money that you shall return. And if you have to pay it back, it is important. I need to pay you it back. So use it wisely. If you have to take it and you have other support, just invest on it. And on the career, I still want to emphasize on what they have said, because I want to give an example of one of a student who was ahead of me 1 year in the same course, and we were coming from the same place. But when he was in that year, he started hating our course, and he was like, I can't do this course, I don't want it kabisa. He wanted to go and do some small packages and other things, but he was advised, this is the place where you are, just finish those 5 years. Then after this, you can go and pursue all the other things. But the other day I met with him and he told me he is now a great contractor. Then I started remembering, in that year, he was doing something to do with construction. So he's a contractor now, he builds and is established in that line, that at some point he wanted even to drop out from school in that year, because I don't know what had just gotten over him. So I think wherever you are, as we have been told, pursue it, because that is God's plan for you. And then after that, you can pursue other things. There are people who finish courses and they do other things. You finish your engineering and you do your law degree if that's what you wanted. Other things, the room is still there. But don't waste time. You lose this chance that you have, and you may not even get what you may have wanted. Finish with it, because that's where you are right now. Take it positively the way we have been told, and I believe we'll be successful. I think that's what I wanted to emphasize on.
Okay, thank you very much, Monica. I think we've tackled now two topics. We would be, I don't know if I can get a feedback from the students. Do you have a feedback, or any of the lecturers and the staff? Yeah. I just want, in a nutshell, maybe in a few minutes, we talk of balancing academics with other, aspects. I think that is normally a very big issue again. Yeah. I left the university as a chairman of the group. We used to be a group, and I believe there were a lot of things. But one thing that I learned that kept me moving, we had programs that we had put in, and I know you are still following. Those programs were very good, and are still very good. Yeah, we had, is it on Tuesday, BS? We do a BS. On Sunday, we do, choir. And then on Wednesday, we have the Vespers. Friday, we have the Vespers. And then the Sabbath. And then you had other small groups. Don't go to many, choose at least one, and so forth. So you need to balance. Don't do so much in terms of the spiritual and forget your study that you came to do. You're not saying that you put a lot of effort to the study alone. All these programs, some of us, like myself, I went through it. And I believe most of my colleagues here went through. Monica is here, and I think we have Chilule. I think you will be commenting in a few minutes, and then Eva Oyer went through all that. But we were able to balance, and we were able to come with good grades. We are where we are, and we did not leave any. And even up to this point, we are still doing the work that God called us to do. We've not left. And the basis came from where? As a student. Yeah? Know who you are serving, God. Because He's the one that can enable you to pass. Yeah? And you can actually be able to be a great man or a lady by trusting in Him. Yeah? And following that which He requires of you. Yeah? Balance your academics and the other activities, your social and then your spiritual. All of them are critical. It helps you build staminas. I'm who I am, as I've said, because of that. I cannot leave coming to church. People look like, fine, let me just put this one. After I had finished, I went for an interview for a job after, tamarking for a while. Then I went for a job. And then I did the interview, and I was told you've passed. Then I asked the question, what pastor said in the morning. I'm an Adventist, and, do you work on Sabbaths? So I asked them, would you give me off on Sabbath? That changed the whole story. You had passed, but now because of that element, you fail. Yeah? So they told me, in fact, we have many off. Somebody now talked about now, we have many of Adventists, they're here, but they come to work on Saturday. What would be special with you? And they told me, go and think about it and then call us back. The job is there for you, you qualify. And that was the end. I said, if I start at this point, what will happen to me? And I refused. I said, fine. That was the end of it. I didn't even call. 1 year down the line, another opportunity comes. And this time, they want somebody to be working on Sunday, a reliever. And that is how I got my job. I'm allowed to go to church on Sabbath and relieve on Sunday. Work from Sunday to Friday. Saturday, I have my off. And that is what has kept me. I can't accept anything that goes beyond the Sabbath and affecting it. No. And where did I learn all this? Where was the foundation? What I did as a student. And even up to this point, I would love to go out. We've gone with some of you for missions and even stay there for the whole 2 weeks. It's not that there is no good place that I can stay, but it's something that is inbuilt, and I feel good when I'm doing it. Not that I'm doing it to anyone, but to my God. And that is what I would want you to encourage you. Yeah? Balance your academic and your spiritual and the other things, and things will be okay. You can never go wrong when you put God first. You can't. Yeah? Even when things almost are becoming thick, You'll always provide a way out. That is why 1 Corinthians is 10 verse 13 or 13 verse 10. Yeah? Talks of no temptation has ever seized you that is not common to man. And if it ever seizes you, he has a way of escape. He'll always provide a way. He gives that which you can actually be able to do. He gives something that you can actually be able to stand. And once you've overcome, you become even more stronger. You can actually be able to do even harder and harder things. That is what I wanted to say before I give my colleague, Chelule, and then I would want us to run very fast into the next item. 2 of them, we are putting them together. Stress management and bit of, how do we balance our, relationship while in campus. Just briefly, because I know that is also a hot discussion that we would want to go into.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me stand. I think I've sat for long. I'm in total agreement with what Dr. Kiblima said and the other 2 panelists. I am who I am today because of the foundation that I caught in this church. And at times, I take my time when I'm alone to reflect on those days and actually reflect on our colleagues whom we were together and those who are still making it in life are actually, when you look at them carefully, they were members of JKUSDA. who followed the JKUSDA program to the letter. They were able to attend the morning prayers. They were able to attend the late night prayers in the mountain. They were able to attend choir practice on Sundays from 2 to 4. They were able to attend Bible studies in the hostels on Tuesdays and on Sundays. They were able to attend the Vespers and midweek fellowship. You know, these are and they were able to attend the afternoon session of the Sabbaths. When I look around, I can see perhaps a quarter capacity of the church in the morning. I can tell you, these are now the people who will go far. These are the people who are serious with life. You can imagine we are discussing all this, and some people are just relaxing in their rooms. They are on WhatsApp, they are on Facebook, they are watching football, they are with their girlfriends and their boyfriends. I can tell you, life requires some seriousness, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to go far, it is not in vain that you are here having this discussion now. Having that, I want to add something on career, and very important. That learn to improve your career, or rather the value of your career, continuously. Yes, there is the mainstream of your career. Perhaps you are pursuing certain engineering course, or whatever you are doing, maybe Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Procurement. How can you add value to it? There are short courses that are being done, and they can really add value. They can add value to your mainstream career. For example, if you are an accountant and you are doing Bachelor of Commerce here in Jkuat, there are courses offered by KASNEP. There are courses offered by Institute of Human Resource Management. There are courses offered by Kenya School of Government. Short courses of like 4 months, some 1 month, some even 1 week. And I can tell you, those are what we call added advantages whenever you go for interviews. You are together with your classmate in class, and perhaps you are just concentrating and focusing on the mainstream course. Your classmate is doing that course and doing something else at the same time. When you go for interview with your classmate, who will carry the day? The one who has some added advantage. So continuously improve on your career. Even us, where we are now, I'm a senior lecturer in this university. But I can tell you, this year alone, I've done 2 short courses. I've gone to Kenya School of Government. I've done what we call Strategic Leadership Development course. I've gone to Institute of Human Resource Management. I've done a course called HR for non-HR practitioners. And I will still do others, like finance for non-finance people. You see? So you continuously add value to yourself. Do small courses here and there. Number 2, I'm happy that we've really touched on investing. Even me, I'm an investor. Learn to diversify your income. Even us who are salaried people, you will get to know that if you are relying only on salary, perhaps the next topic that you are touching on management, on stress, you will be a beneficiary. If you are relying only on salary, I can tell you that one for free. If you are not on salary and you've not diversified your income so that you are getting some extra coin from maybe one or two other sources, and you are just relying on salary alone, then I can tell you life is not easy with you. So let us learn to diversify. And I can tell you, when you are a university student, this is the opportunity to learn things. Learn things. Learn how to diversify, how to invest, how to diversify, learn how to save. Are you seeing that? And don't forget that we as Adventists, we are people who are modest in life. This one actually is touching on what I said earlier on about food that is a need and food that is a want. Adventists are modest people. Modest. A modest life is the best. Are you seeing that? Right now, when I'm going to Nairobi, yes, I'm a senior lecturer at JKUSDA. I'm a campus director. I'm doing some businesses here and there. Not that I don't have money, but when I'm going to Nairobi, I leave my vehicle. I go and board Supermetro. Are you seeing that? I get to Nairobi, there are various hotels. I can go to a hotel whereby lunch is 2,000. I can go to a hotel where lunch is 150. And I even find that the one for 150 is a healthy food for an Adventist. Are you seeing that? So let us learn a modest life. Where does learning begin? It begins when you are a student, actually. You have an opportunity to learn many things from now, so that when you get into your future, to start earning, there are certain principles, there are certain basics, there are certain foundational things that you've laid and you are unshakable. Are you seeing that? Lastly, now touching on the introduction of stress management. And I just want to say, I want to summarize it, that stress is as a result of you mismanaging. If you are actually to be serious with life and learn to manage your life, learn to manage your relationships, learn to know your needs and your wants, learn to be in the right place at the right time. Like right now, you are in church when you are supposed to be in church. You are in the right place at the right time. Are you seeing that? When you learn to do things the right way and you focus on life properly, I can assure you that you can minimize, if not eradicate completely, the stress. Thank you so much. Take over, Giblimo.
Thank you so much. Let me be allowed to stand. We are just coming to a close. You know, when issues come up and you're discussing, and it becomes so sweet until time runs very fast. Huh? I'm seeing we are already at 5, and we just started the other, a few minutes ago, not long ago. So I would want to thank you so much for those insights, those comments. I would want to allow my sister Lucy to take us through that bit just briefly, and then we'll have my brother Boss just saying one or two, and then we'll have a sermonette briefly, maybe a short one, and then we are going to close for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I have not closed anyone for a question. Let me allow her, and then we can get question at the end. Thank you.
Well, I will look at stress management in the view of like where we come from, it's good to agree that we all come from different backgrounds, and background is a key source of stress, especially for young adults like us. And I'll be honest, is that some of us come from backgrounds where we have abusive parents, we have family disputes, and those are really a hard note on some of us as students, even in class. And at times, these are stresses that you're not able to share out. For instance, I would see people say, oh, they are very happy going home, they will hug their dads, they will sing with them. And that was not the same case with me. And that would eat me up. And I would ask myself, okay, where did I go wrong? But I want us to understand one. You need to accept some of the things that you're going through, which are not easy. And if you can, seek help from a counselor. I personally had to seek help from one of our lecturers who was a counselor, and he helped me to accept reality of things that I cannot change. We cannot change our background, we cannot change our parents, but we have to accept them and live with them with wisdom. 2, if you are going through a stressful moment, the best thing you can do is talk it out. In campus, growing up in a background where at times, being seen with a young man or a young woman, it looks like a taboo. Oftentimes, we end up having secret relationships which lead us to worse situations. And I want to say that love relationships are not easy. Because I believe that was also a point for me through campus, which no one taught me and prepared me for. For those who are new, remember that everyone is fearfully and wonderfully made, and it is good to be attracted, yeah? But you need to know how to manage those feelings and attractions of different, from different sides. Because oftentimes, I thought, or maybe the perspective that we grew up is that if a young man comes and says that they love you, they're expecting either you to give in to their demands. And so oftentimes, I would ask, unasema unanipenda, nini unataka kwangu? Why? Because the perception that I had been given is that a young man who comes to you may want either benefits from you. And so I had a wrong perspective, which at times would land me to problems. But if we accept one thing, let us accept that everyone is fearfully and wonderfully made. 2, let us understand that it is normal if a young man or a young woman, you're neither not attracted to each other, kuna shida. So let us accept that's how God made it. But now how to manage this relationship in a study environment is very crucial. Because at times something that happens is that one may take more time to the other and may crowd the other, so one may fail. So learning how to balance and making decision and say, at this point, I think this is the right thing. And then when you see that one is weighing the other, it can cause something called stress. Because there is chronic, there is different kind of stress, but then we need to ask ourselves, if I am in a study environment, what are my priorities? If a young man or a woman, you're not ready for marriage at all, be honest. People may hate you, but it's true. Tell them the truth, right? And then it will save you